The Regal Haven Hotel in New York City was famous for its opulence and exclusivity. Its owner, Oliver Henderson, prided himself on the fact that only the best of the best frequented his establishment. So when a black couple showed up at the front desk, he knew they were out of place. He just didn't know that this moment would be the beginning of his end. What happened? Listen below. At the end of the story, leave your opinion below, and don't forget to subscribe, and we'll continue. In the heart of New York City stands the Regal Haven Hotel Complex. A beacon of opulence and exclusivity, it is the crown jewel of the city's hospitality scene, a place where the rich and famous find solace in its luxurious embrace. The man behind this grand establishment is Oliver Henderson, a name synonymous with power, wealth, and an unyielding arrogance that permeates every corner of his being. Oliver is not just the owner of Regal Haven, he is its embodiment, a living testament to the extravagance and elitism that define the hotel's very essence. His tall, imposing figure, always clad in the finest tailored suits, commands attention wherever he goes. His eyes, sharp and piercing, hold a gaze that seems to judge and dismiss in a single glance. His mannerisms are those of a man who has never known defeat, who believes that the world bends to his will. He walks with a confident stride, his chin held high, and his voice carries the weight of authority, each word carefully chosen to assert his dominance. To Oliver, Regal Haven is more than just a hotel, it is a statement, a declaration of his superiority over the mere mortals who dare to seek entry into his sanctum. He takes pride in the fact that his establishment is famous for its sophisticated clientele, a euphemism for the select few who meet his stringent standards of wealth and social standing. But beneath the veneer of elegance and refinement lies a dark secret, a rule that Oliver enforces with an iron fist. He does not want black guests in his hotel, believing that their presence would spoil the reputation he has so meticulously cultivated. This racial bias is not openly advertised, but it is whispered in the hallowed halls of Regal Haven, a silent understanding among the staff who are trained to cater to Oliver's every whim. They know better than to question his decisions, for to do so would be to invite his wrath, a storm that none wish to weather. And so, the hotel operates under this shadow of prejudice, a stain on its otherwise pristine facade. But the wheels of fate are turning, and Oliver Henderson is about to learn that his actions have consequences, that the universe has a way of balancing the scales of justice. For on this fateful day, a black couple arrives at the Regal Haven, their presence a harbinger of the storm that is about to engulf Oliver's carefully constructed world. James and Lauren Carter are not your average guests. They are impeccably dressed, their attire a testament to their refined taste and considerable wealth. Their manners are flawless, each gesture and word a reflection of their upbringing and social standing. They have booked the best suite in the hotel, a testament to their desire for the finest that life has to offer. And they have made a full prepayment, a clear indication of their intent to enjoy their stay without any financial constraints. But as they stand in the grand lobby of the Regal Haven, their presence is met with a cold reception. Oliver, who happens to be in the lobby at the time, takes one look at them and feels a wave of disgust wash over him. He cannot fathom the thought of these people sullying his precious hotel with their presence. And so, with a smile that is as cold as it is polite, he approaches them, his mind already made up. He will not allow them to stay in his hotel, not if he has anything to say about it. But little does he know that his actions are about to set in motion a chain of events that will lead to his downfall, a collapse so complete that it will leave him a shell of the man he once was. For James and Lauren Carter are not who they seem, and their arrival at the Regal Haven is not a coincidence. It is a test, a challenge that Oliver Henderson is about to fail miserably. And as he stands there, his arrogance blinding him to the truth, he is oblivious to the fact that his world is about to come crashing down around him. Oliver Henderson, with his cold smile firmly in place, approaches James and Lauren Carter. He is a master of deception, his words laced with a false politeness that barely conceals his true feelings. He looks down at them, his eyes reflecting the disdain that he feels for their presence in his hotel. "Good afternoon," he begins, his voice smooth as velvet, yet laced with an undercurrent of ice. "I am Oliver Henderson, the owner of Regal Haven. I believe there has been a slight misunderstanding regarding your reservation." James and Lauren exchange a glance, their expressions calm and composed. They have encountered men like Oliver before, men who believe that the color of their skin determines their worth. But they are not easily intimidated, their confidence a testament to their strength of character, and the success they have achieved in life. A misunderstanding? James repeats, his voice steady and measured. We booked the presidential suite in advance, and made a full prepayment. I believe everything is in order. Oliver's smile tightens, his eyes narrowing slightly as he realizes that these guests will not be so easily dismissed. He clears his throat, his mind racing as he searches for a way to maintain his facade of politeness while still achieving his goal. Ah, yes, the presidential suite, he says, his tone apologetic. Unfortunately, there has been an unexpected issue with the room. It seems that it is no longer available for your stay. However, we do have a smaller room without a view that we would be happy to offer you as an alternative. Lauren's eyes flash with a hint of anger, but her voice remains calm as she responds. That is quite disappointing to hear, Mr. Henderson, she says, her gaze steady and unyielding. We specifically requested the presidential suite, and were assured that it would be available for our stay. We insist on the room that we booked and paid for. Oliver's facade begins to crumble, his frustration evident in the tense set of his shoulders and the tightening of his jaw. He is not a man who is used to being challenged, and the fact that these guests are not backing down is a source of great irritation for him. He takes a deep breath, his mind racing as he searches for a way to regain control of the situation. I understand your disappointment, he says, his voice strained. However, I assure you that the alternative room is quite comfortable and will more than meet your needs. We will, of course, offer you a discount on your stay as compensation for the inconvenience. But James and Lauren are not so easily swayed. They stand their ground, their calm demeanor a stark contrast to Oliver's growing agitation. We appreciate your offer, Mr. Henderson, James says, his voice firm and unyielding. However, we insist on the room that we booked and paid for. We will not accept anything less. Oliver's frustration boils over, his voice rising as he struggles to maintain his composure. I am afraid that is not possible, he snaps, his eyes flashing with anger. The presidential suite is not available, and that is final. You will have to accept the alternative room or find accommodations elsewhere. James and Lauren exchange a glance, a silent understanding passing between them. They have encountered men like Oliver before, men who believe that their wealth and power give them the right to treat others with disrespect and contempt. But they are not so easily defeated, their strength of character and unyielding determination a testament to their success in life. Very well, Mr. Henderson, Lauren says, her voice calm and measured. We will accept the alternative room for now. But we expect to be treated with the same respect and courtesy as any other guest in this hotel. We will not tolerate any further attempts to make us feel unwelcome. Oliver's eyes narrow, his anger barely contained as he realizes that he has been bested in this encounter. He takes a deep breath, his mind racing as he searches for a way to salvage the situation. Of course, he says, his voice tight with suppressed fury. You will be treated with the utmost respect and courtesy during your stay. I assure you that there will be no further issues. But even as he speaks the words, Oliver knows that he is lying. He has no intention of treating these guests with respect, no intention of making them feel welcome in his hotel. He will do everything in his power to make their stay as uncomfortable and unpleasant as possible, to make them regret the day they dared to challenge him. And so, with a cold smile and a false promise, Oliver Henderson sets in motion a chain of events that will ultimately lead to his downfall. For he does not know who he is dealing with, does not realize the true power and influence that James and Lauren Carter wield. And by the time he discovers the truth, it will be too late. His arrogance and prejudice will have sealed his fate, and he will be left to face the consequences of his actions. Oliver Henderson, seething with anger and frustration, retreats to his opulent office, a sanctuary where he can plot his next move in peace. The room is a testament to his wealth and power, adorned with expensive artwork and furnished with the finest materials. But today, the luxurious surroundings do little to soothe his frayed nerves. He paces back and forth, his mind racing as he formulates a plan to make James and Lauren Carter's stay at the Regal Haven as uncomfortable as possible. He cannot bear the thought of these people enjoying the fruits of his labor, sullying his precious hotel with their presence. He picks up the phone, his voice sharp and commanding as he barks orders at his staff. I want every member of the staff to understand that the couple in the alternative room is not to be given any special treatment, he snarls. Delay their service, ignore their requests, do whatever it takes to make them feel unwelcome. I want them out of my hotel as soon as possible. The staff, trained to obey his every command, spring into action. They know better than to question his orders, for to do so would be to invite his wrath. And so, the wheels of prejudice are set in motion, a cruel and petty machine designed to break the spirits of those who dare to challenge Oliver Henderson's authority. But James and Lauren are made of sterner stuff. They have faced adversity before, their strength of character forged in the fires of prejudice and discrimination. They will not be so easily defeated, their resolve unyielding in the face of Oliver's petty tyranny. As the days pass, they endure the slights and indignities with grace and dignity, their calm demeanor a stark contrast to the simmering anger that lurks beneath the surface. They know that their time will come, that justice will be served in the end. And so, they bide their time, waiting for the moment when they can reveal their true power and influence. Meanwhile, Oliver grows increasingly frustrated as his attempts to make them feel unwelcome are met with calm resolve. He cannot understand why they do not simply leave, why they continue to endure the discomfort and inconvenience. His arrogance blinds him to the truth, to the fact that he is not dealing with ordinary people. He is dealing with a force to be reckoned with, a power that will ultimately bring about his downfall. And as he sits in his office, stewing in his own bitterness and rage, he is oblivious to the storm that is about to engulf him. For unbeknownst to him, James and Lauren Carter have set their sights on the regal haven, their intentions far more profound than a simple desire for a luxurious stay. They have a vision, a dream of transforming the hotel into a symbol of equality and inclusivity, a beacon of hope in a world still plagued by prejudice and discrimination. And they will stop at nothing to achieve their goal, even if it means bringing Oliver Henderson to his knees. The stage is set for a battle of wills, a clash of titans that will ultimately determine the fate of the regal haven and the man who believes he is its master. But for now, the players are still in the shadows, their true intentions hidden from view. The calm before the storm, a moment of tense anticipation as the world holds its breath, waiting for the inevitable collision of forces that will change the course of history forever. Days turn into a week, and Oliver Henderson's frustration reaches a boiling point. His attempts to make James and Lauren Carter feel unwelcome have failed miserably. Despite his orders to delay service and ignore their requests, the couple remains steadfast, their calm demeanor unshaken by the petty inconveniences thrown their way. Oliver's arrogance, once an impenetrable fortress, begins to crumble under the weight of his own impotence. He cannot fathom why these guests refuse to leave, why they continue to endure the discomfort and indignities he has orchestrated. His mind races, searching for a new strategy, a way to reassert his dominance, and rid his hotel of their presence. But fate, it seems, has other plans. One afternoon, as Oliver sits in his office, stewing in his own bitterness, his secretary buzzes him on the intercom. "Mr. Henderson," she says, her voice tentative. "There's a call for you. It's from an investment company interested in acquiring the Regal Haven." Oliver's eyes widen in surprise, his frustration momentarily forgotten. This is the opportunity he has been waiting for, the chance to sell his hotel at the peak of its value and secure his fortune for generations to come. He takes a deep breath, composing himself before picking up the phone. "Oliver Henderson speaking," he says, his voice smooth and confident. The voice on the other end is professional and to the point. "Mr. Henderson, we represent a well-known investment company with a keen interest in acquiring the Regal Haven. We believe it has tremendous potential and would like to discuss the possibility of a sale. Would you be available for a meeting to discuss the details?" Oliver's heart races with excitement. This is it, the moment he has been working towards his entire life. He agrees to the meeting, his mind already racing with visions of the enormous wealth and prestige that await him. But little does he know that this meeting will not be the triumph he envisions. It will be the beginning of the end, the first domino to fall in a chain reaction that will bring his empire crashing down around him. As the day of the meeting approaches, Oliver prepares himself with meticulous care. He chooses his finest suit, rehearses his pitch, and practices his most charming smile. He is confident that he will dazzle the investors with his vision for the Regal Haven, that they will be eager to pay top dollar for the privilege of owning such a prestigious establishment. But as he steps into the meeting room, his confidence falters. For sitting at the table, their eyes fixed on him with an intensity that sends a shiver down his spine, are James and Lauren Carter. Oliver's mind races, struggling to comprehend the implications of their presence. He had assumed that the investors would be faceless corporate entities, not the very people he has been trying to drive out of his hotel. But as he takes his seat, the truth begins to dawn on him. James and Lauren are not just wealthy guests, they are billionaires, owners of the largest international hotel chain in the world. And they have come to the Regal Haven not to enjoy its luxuries, but to expose the rotten core at its heart. Oliver swallows hard, his arrogance giving way to a growing sense of unease. He realizes that he has underestimated his opponents, that he has walked into a trap of his own making. And as James begins to speak, his voice calm and measured, Oliver braces himself for the storm that is about to engulf him. Oliver Henderson sits across from James and Lauren Carter, his mind racing as he struggles to comprehend the magnitude of the situation he finds himself in. The meeting room, once a symbol of his power and influence, now feels like a cage, the walls closing in around him as he faces the stark reality of his own hubris. James leans forward, his eyes locked onto Oliver's, a mixture of determination and disappointment in his gaze. "Mr. Henderson," he begins, his voice steady and measured, "we have been interested in acquiring the Regal Haven for some time. Its potential is undeniable, but our recent stay has revealed a darker side to your establishment, one that we cannot ignore." Oliver shifts uncomfortably in his seat, his arrogance giving way to a growing sense of dread. He knows what is coming, the inevitable reckoning for his prejudiced actions. But he is powerless to stop it, his fate now firmly in the hands of the couple he sought to humiliate. "Your treatment of us, and by extension any guest who does not fit your narrow definition of sophisticated clientele, is unacceptable," Lauren continues, her voice laced with a quiet strength that commands respect. "We will not stand by and allow such blatant discrimination to continue. Therefore, we are prepared to make you an offer, but it comes with conditions that are non-negotiable." Oliver's heart sinks as he realizes the true extent of his miscalculation. He had believed himself untouchable, his wealth and influence a shield against the consequences of his actions. But now, faced with the cold, hard truth of his own prejudice, he understands that his empire is built on a foundation of sand, ready to crumble at the slightest touch. James slides a contract across the table, his eyes never leaving Oliver's. "You will sell the Regal Haven to us at the agreed-upon price, but you will do so under our terms. You will step down from all involvement in the hotel industry, relinquishing any and all ties to the Regal Haven and any other establishments you may own. You will do this quietly, without fanfare or public announcement, and you will never again seek to open or manage a hotel." Oliver's hands tremble as he reaches for the contract, his eyes scanning the words that seal his fate. He knows that he has no choice, that to refuse would be to invite ruin. James and Lauren have the power and influence to destroy his reputation, to ensure that he never works in the industry again. And so, with a heavy heart and a sense of profound defeat, Oliver Henderson signs the contract, his signature a testament to the collapse of his once great empire. As he hands the contract back to James, he feels a profound sense of loss, not just for the hotel he has poured his life into, but for the man he once believed himself to be. He had thought himself a titan of industry, a visionary whose name would be remembered for generations. But now, he is nothing more than a cautionary tale, a symbol of the destructive power of prejudice and arrogance. And as he leaves the meeting room, his shoulders slumped and his head bowed, he knows that his name will forever be synonymous with the very things he sought to exclude. The Regal Haven, once a bastion of exclusivity and elitism, is about to undergo a transformation, a rebirth that will see it rise from the ashes of Oliver Henderson's legacy. Under the guidance of James and Lauren Carter, it will become a beacon of hope and inclusivity, a place where all are welcome, regardless of the color of their skin or the size of their bank account. And Oliver, the man who once believed himself above the laws of decency and compassion, will be left to wander the streets of New York, a shadow of his former self, his name a whispered reminder of the price of prejudice. In the aftermath of Oliver Henderson's downfall, the Regal Haven undergoes a profound transformation. Under the stewardship of James and Lauren Carter, the hotel is reborn, shedding its elitist past and embracing a new philosophy of inclusivity and equality. The once exclusive establishment, known for its discriminatory practices, becomes a symbol of hope and unity, a testament to the power of change and redemption.